Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Weekly Wildlife Wisdom. And so far, I've been your host, Zero Yeti, and happy Shark Week. This is the third Shark Week I've done for Weekly Wildlife. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Seven awesome cartilaginous fish. The first being the Mako Shark, specifically the short-finned Mako Shark, also known as the Blue Pointer or the Beneteau Shark, is a large mackerel shark in the genus Acerus, with the word Mako coming from the Maori language meaning sharp tooth. The short-finned Mako inhabits offshore temperate and tropical seas worldwide, typically far from mainland coasts, as it is a pelagic species which regularly dives to depths of up to 500 feet. They are warm-blooded mesothermic predators and the fastest sharks alive today, capable of reaching up to 45 miles per hour in their pursuit of prey, such as cephalopods, mackerels, tuna, bonito, swordfish, other sharks, porpoises, sea turtles, seabirds, and dolphins. Short-finned Mako is a sexually dimorphic species, with males averaging around 8.5 to 10.5 feet in length, or 2.5 to 3.2 meters, and weighing around 130 to 310 pounds or 60 to 140 kilograms in weight, while mature females can reach upwards of 12 feet or 3.8 meters in length and 1,200 pounds or 550 kilograms. They sport cylindrical shaped bodies with a vertically elongated tail. They exhibit countershading with a brilliant metallic blue coloration on their dorsal side, while they're white ventrally. They have a line of demarcation between the white and blue on the body, which is very distinct. The underside of the snout and the areas around the mouth are white, while in adults, while juveniles have clear blackish stains on the tips of their snout. They are a polyandrous ovoviparous species, which mothers giving birth to around 4 to 18 live pups after around a 15 to 18 month gestation period. Males reach sexual maturity sooner than females at around 7 to 9 years, compared to females at around 19 to 21. Under ideal conditions, a short-finned Mako shark may live upwards of 30 years. Next up is the narrow-nosed Chimera. Forgive me for butchering this next part. Scientifically, they're known as Heriota raeliana, also known as the ghost shark or the spookfish. It is a long-nosed chimera in the family Rhinochimeridae, which is native throughout the temperate oceans of the world and is typically found at depths of between 650 feet or 200 meters to around 10,200 or 3,100 meters. Long-nosed chimeras are members of the class Chondrichthyes, which diverged from their closest relatives, the sharks and the rays and the skates, during the Devonian period approximately 400 million years ago. Not much is known about their deep-sea lifestyle, but they do appear to feed upon crustaceans, worms, small fish, mollusks, and echinoderms. They are themselves preyed upon by larger sharks, bony fish, and large predatory squids and octopi. Female narrow-nosed chimera typically are larger, reaching around 4.9 feet or 1.5 meters, with males reaching around 3.3 feet or 1 meter in length. Both sexes sport elongated rostra and slender filamentous tails, as well as large pectoral and pelvic fins, big eyes, and 2 dorsal fins, the first being preceded by a mildly poisonous spine. They range in color from pale marbled brown to a dusty gray to a ghostly white or a mixture of all the above. Like many other chondrichthyes, long-nosed chimeras reproduce by laying eggs. The egg cases consist of a central chamber surrounded by a web-like structure, and female long-nosed chimeras lay a pair of eggs several times per year. Next up is the Epaulette Shark. It is a species of long-tailed carpet shark in the family Hemicylidae, which is native to the shallow tropical waters off the coast of Australia, New Guinea, Malaysia, Sumatra, and the Solomon Islands. Here they tend to live in and around tidal pools, coral flats, or stands of staghorn coral, where they prefer waters that are shallower than 160 feet or 50 meters in depth. They are often seen in water that is barely deep enough to cover their bodies. To navigate these conditions, epaulette sharks move by bending their bodies from side to side, pushing off the substrate with paddle-shaped pectoral and pelvic fins, walking with a gait similar to that of salamanders, an example of convergent evolution. The epaulette shark is even capable of traversing about on dry land, but still require water to breathe. They are extremely well adapted to deal with hypoxic conditions, and they are capable of going without oxygen for upwards of an hour. Epaulette sharks are typically nocturnal opportunistic predators of crustaceans, mollusks, worms, and small bony fish. They are themselves eaten by seabirds, large bony fish, and other sharks. Reaching around 27 to 42 inches or 70 to 107 centimeters in length, epaulette sharks sport a slender, elongated body, and over half of the body is comprised by a massive tail. The snout is short and rounded, with nares placed almost at the tip, along with a pair of tiny barbels. There are grooves running on the nares of the mouth, from the nares to the mouth. The teeth are small and broad, with triangular cusps. The eyes are oval in shape and elevated with a large spherical below each and 5 pairs of gill slits. The pectoral and pelvic fins are broad and rounded, and they are thickly muscled. There are 2 similar-sized dorsal fins that are placed well back from the body, and they are typically a beige to brownish coloration with many widely spaced brown spots and subtle darker bands, with a very large black spot ringed in white located behind each pectoral fin. Mating occurs typically from July to December, and this species is oviparous, with females depositing 2 to 4 egg capsules at a time every 14 days, producing a total of around 20 to 50 eggs per year. The young hatch around 120 to 130 days, and under ideal conditions, an epaulette shark will reach sexual maturity around 7 years and live upwards of 25. Next up is the scalloped hammerhead, also known as the bronze kinkyhead or southern hammerhead, is a species of hammerhead in the family Sphaerinidae, which is native to temperate and tropical waters around the globe, between the latitudes of 46 degrees north and 36 degrees south. They tend to inhabit coastlines, bays, mangrove swamps, and continental or insular shelves, and are known to dive up to 1,600 feet in depth or 500 meters. They are a moderately social species which lives in pairs or shivers upwards of 100 strong, typically spending their days close to shore, venturing further out to sea come nightfall to hunt prey such as schooling bony fish, squid, octopi, rays, smaller species of sharks such as the black-tip reef shark. Reaching up to 14 feet or 4.3 meters in length and 335 or 152.4 kilograms in weight, the scalloped hammerhead is easily distinguished from other hammerhead sharks by their central indentation on the interior margins of the head. There are also 2 indentations on either side of the central indentation, which gives them a scalloped look. They have a very large first dorsal fin that is slightly hooked and a smaller second dorsal fin. Scalloped hammerhead sharks are typically uniform gray, grayish-brown, bronze, or olive in coloration, with a white underside for counter shading. The scalloped hammerhead is also noted for its large and complex brain, with high levels of cognitive abilities and social intelligence. Mating occurs year-round, and after a 12-month pregnancy, a mother scalloped hammerhead will migrate to shallow coastal bays and mangrove swamps to give birth to 12 to 41 live pups. Female scalloped hammerheads reach sexual maturity at larger sizes than males, and in ideal conditions, the scalloped hammerhead may live up to 30 years. The next animal we have is the Zingu River Ray, also known as the black diamond stingray, the white blotched river stingray, or the polka dot stingray. It is a species of freshwater stingray in the family Potamotrygonidae. It is endemic to the Zingu River Basin in Brazil, where it inhabits clearer waters with river rock or sandy bottoms. Zingu River Rays primarily feed upon crustaceans, mollusks, small fish, worms, and other aquatic invertebrates. They are themselves preyed upon by otters, dolphins, crustaceans, large fishing birds, and large predatory fish. Female Zingu River Rays are typically larger than males, but both sexes are capable of reaching up to 13 inches or 40 centimeters in width, and around 30 inches or 60 centimeters in length, around 45 pounds or 20 kilograms in weight. They sport a fairly short but wide tail with a flat circular body, which is deep black in coloration along the back and dotted with white to yellow colored spots. The underside is usually a dusty brown or tan. The Zingu River Ray is a venomous stingray that contains venom localized to its dentine spine on its tail, which is located just behind the dorsal fin. This spine is used for self-defense and is tipped with barbs that can rip through flesh when withdrawn. The spines are constantly being shed and replaced, allowing a stingray to sometimes have two stingers at once, as the newer stinger grows to replace the older one. Breeding occurs year-round depending on the water chemistry and food availability. After a 3-month gestation period, a female will typically give birth to 2 to 6 pups. Under ideal conditions, the Zingu River Ray may live upwards of 13 years. Next up is a requested species, the tiger shark, which is a genus of ground shark and the only extant member of the genus Galeocerdo in the family Galeocerodonidae. It is a highly nomadic species which inhabits tropical and subtropical waters worldwide, up to 3,000 feet or 900 meters in depth. They are often found in coastal waters with particularly abundance in the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea, Indian Ocean, and Western Pacific. Tiger sharks are often called the garbage cans of the sea and have a reputation for eating almost anything. As such, their diet is wide and heavily varied, and is known to regularly include small fish, jellyfish, crustaceans, cephalopods, other mollusks, rays, skates, sawfish, seabirds, sea snakes, sea turtles, other sharks, dolphins, seals, sea lions, dugongs, manatees, crocodilians, porpoises, and sick or injured whales. When they are near islands or coastlines, they've also been known to eat sheep, goats, dogs, pigs, rats, horses, deer, antelope, cattle, cats, camels, monkeys, inland birds, bats, lizards, and inanimate objects such as license plates, cans, tires, books, boat oars, soccer balls, baseball bats. Tiger sharks are themselves occasionally preyed upon and eaten by orcas, great whites, and saltwater crocodiles. The tiger shark commonly reaches 10.5 to 14 feet, or 3.2 to 4.26 meters in length, and around 385 to 1,400 pounds, or 175 to 635 kilograms in weight, with the largest recording individual reaching 18 feet long, or 5.5 meters, and around 3,360 pounds or 1,525 kilograms in weight. This ranks the tiger shark amongst the largest extant sharks on Earth, only being surpassed by the whale shark, the basking shark, the great white shark, the Pacific sleeper shark, the Greenland shark, and possibly the blunt-nosed six-gilled shark. They have a broad snout and stocky body with proportionally large fins and a long upper tail. Tiger sharks' teeth are unique with very sharp pronounced serrations and unmistakable sideways pointing tip. Such dentition has developed to slice through flesh, bone, and other tough substances such as turtle shells, crustacean carapaces, and nautilus shells. In the northern hemisphere, the mating season takes place from March to May, and the southern hemisphere from November to January, with males breeding every year while females breed once every 3 years. After a year-long pregnancy, mother tiger sharks give birth to 10 to 80 pups. And under ideal conditions, a tiger shark may live upwards of 12 years. On our extinct animal of the week is Orthacanthus, which is an extinct genus of freshwater Xenacanthus shark, which lived throughout what is now Eurasia and North America during the Imbrian to the early Devonian to the Carnian of the late Triassic, some 407 to 227 million years ago. The first remains of Orthacanthus, consisting of several neural spines and vertebrae, were unearthed from Carboniferous rocks in Great Britain by Dr. Louis Agassiz, in 1836, which he described as a species of primitive skate. Several more spines and teeth would be found throughout England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, Nova Scotia, Canada, Ohio, USA, but were variously assigned to things like Pleuracanthus and Diplodocus. In 1848, a well-preserved full-body impression of an animal was unearthed near Ruppelsdorf, Germany, by Dr. Goldfuss, who described and named the specimen as Xenacanthus. However, additional findings in Texas of both Orthacanthus and Xenacanthus in the 1880s showed a marked distinction in both size and morphology between the two taxa. These prompted additional studies which showed that the German impression to be of Orthacanthus and that Ditotus, Diomodus, and Diplodocus were all synonymous with Orthacanthus, and Pleuracanthus was already an established genus of beetles. You see that a lot in science. Etymologists get to it first. And all previous Pleuracanthus fossils are now considered Orthacanthus. Today, 11 species of Orthacanthus are considered valid, those being O. gibbosus, O. architectus, O. buxieri, O. compressus, O. donaldsonense, O. gracilis, O. milleri, O. minor, O. platiternus, O. pustulosus, and O. texensis. Reaching upwards of 10 feet or 3 meters in length, Orthacanthus had a number of features that distinguish it from modern sharks, including a ribbon-like dorsal fin, which ran down nearly the entirety of the back of the animal, and it had paired pectoral and pelvic fins and 4 anal fins. It also had a distinctive spine that projected from the back of the head, which is speculated to be venomous, perhaps similar to how stingrays or chimeras' spines are venomous. As large aquatic predators, Orthacanthus would have fed upon bony fish, as well as placoderms, sharks, and other cartilaginous fish, amphibians, aquatic reptiles, synapsids, and various invertebrates. Interestingly, Orthacanthus seems to have been highly adaptable organisms, with smaller and younger individuals living in shallower waters like ponds, rivers, and streams, while larger, older individuals dwelled in freshwater lakes, brackish swamps, deltas, and even coastal waters. As always, take care to my guys, gals, and my binary pals. Have a happy Shark Week and a wonderful day.